led the state forward, and the re-election of LDF stood out as a testimony to his leadership skills. He took a break from parliamentary politics to become CPM State Secretary in 1998. After being at the helm of CPM for 16 years, he contested again in 2016 and became the Chief Minister. This time, voters gave him a majority of 50,123 votes from the same constituency. He is currently a CPM Politburo member. Earlier, Pinarayi had been elected to the Assembly in 1970, 1977, 1991 and 1996. Animal Husbandry. J. Chinjurani, Education SSLC. Chinjurani is the second woman minister from CPI. She began her public life by associating with Balavedi and AISF. She is the state president of Kerala Mahila Sangam. Her husband D. Sukeshan is a CPI local leader in Kollam. Water Resources. Roshi Augustine, Education BSc. Roshi Augustine entered politics through KSC, the students' wing of Kerala Congress. After his unsuccessful contest from Perambra constituency in 1996 at 27, Mani offered a ticket to Roshi in the 2001 Assembly elections from Idukki. Roshi, who won from Idukki in 2001, has never tasted defeat since then. Industries. P. Raj, Education LLB. A native of Meladur in Thrissur, Rajiv has been living in Kalamassery for the past several years. Rajiv, who began his public life as an SFI organizer, earned appreciation cutting across party lines as Rajya Sabha MP from 2009 to 2015. He is a member of the CPM State Secretariat and served as Ernakulam District Secretary. SC or ST Welfare Devasan. K. Radhakrishnan, Education BA Economics. A native of Tonukara in Chelakara. Radhakrishnan entered politics through SFI while studying at Thrissur Kerala Varma College. He has represented Chelakara constituency in the Assembly for 5 terms. In the first term, he was made SC or ST Welfare Minister in the Pinarayi Cabinet in 1996. He served as the Assembly Speaker from 2006 to 2011. Revenue. K. Rajan, Education, BSc, LLB. Oldur constituency has never given a second term for a candidate during the past 4 decades. The CPI has named K. Rajan, who served as Government Chief Whip during the previous term as Minister, as he broke the gins attached to Oldur. Rajan is a state executive member of the CPI and had been AIYF National Secretary. Power. K. Krishnakutty, Education High School. K. Krishnakutty was Water Resources Minister in the outgoing Pinarayi Vijayan government. A native of Chittoor in Palakkad. K. Krishnakutty is a farmer and an expert in interstate river water sharing treaties. He is the state president of the Janata Dal. Health. Veena George, Education MSc. Veena George is a journalist turned politician. She quit her job to contest the election from Aranmula in 2016. Veena's leadership qualities were visible during the 2018 floods, which had affected Pathanamthitta badly. Forest. A.K. Shashindran, Education, Diploma in Ayurveda Medicine. A native of Chowa in Kannur. Shashindran started his political career as a KSU worker. He was the district president of KSU from 1963 to 1966 and its state president from 1978 to 1980 and state president of Youth Congress. He later joined Congress and his party merged with NCP when the latter was formed. The six-time MLA was first elected to the Assembly in 1980 from Perimankulam in Kannur. Higher education, R. Bindu. Education, PhD. Wife of CPM State Secretary A. Raghavan. She is Central Committee member of All India Democracy Women's Association. She was the first woman mayor of Thrissur. She was the head of the Department of English and the vice principal of Thrissur Keralavarma College. Excise or local self-government. M.V. Govindan, Education Diploma. Considered a party ideologue from Kannur, M.V. Govindan is a Central Committee member and one of the top leaders of CPM in the state. He is a member of the CPM State Secretariat, a former DYFI State President. M.V. Govindan has served as the chief editor of the party mouthpiece Deshabhimani for some time. He is a three-time MLA and has won from Teleparanga constituency. PWD or Tourism. P.A. Muhammad Riaz, Education, LLB. National President of DYFI, P.A. Muhammad Riaz started his political life through SFI while studying at St. Joseph's High School. He was instrumental in breaking the MSF monopoly at Farooq College in 1997. He had unsuccessfully contested from Kozhikode constituency in the 2009 LS polls. Pinarayi Vijayan's daughter T. Veena is his wife. Ports. Ahmad Devarkovil, Education Pre-Degree. A native of Kozhikode, Ahmad began his political life as a Muslim Students' Federation activist. He has been with the organization since the formation of the INL under the leadership of Ibrahim Sulaiman Said. Ahmad is currently INL National General Secretary. He defeated IUML's Nubina Rashid in the election. Minority Affairs. V. Abdul Rahman, Education SSLC. Winning twice from a constituency that IUML kept as its citadel for more than 5 decades helped V. Abdul Rahman find a place in the government. He started his political career in KSU. He left Congress in 2014 and contested unsuccessfully against IUML from Ponnani Lok Sabha seat as an LDF candidate. Education, V. Shivankuti. Education, BA. V. Shivankuti enters the cabinet with the distinction of winning back BJP's lone sitting seat in the state. He was the state president of SFI and had served as the president of Ullur Panchayat and mayor of Thiruvananthapuram Corporation. He is currently a state committee member of CPM and CITU state secretary. His wife Parvati Devi is the daughter of CPM ideologue the late P. Govindapilla. Transport. Anthony Raju. Education, BA, LLB. Anthony Raju trounced sitting MLA V.S. Shivakumar to win the Thiruvananthapuram constituency. He started his political career as the student leader of KSC, a feeder organization of the Kerala Congress. Civil Supplies. G.R. Anil, Education, BA, LLB. Anil won the maiden assembly election from Nedimangar. He had earlier served as the Health and Education Standing Committee Chairman of Thiruvananthapuram Corporation. He is currently the District Secretary of CPI. His wife, R. Lata Devi, is a former MLA. Finance, K.N. Balagopal. Education, M.Com. LLM. This is Balagopal's maiden term in the Assembly. He had been a Rajya Sabha member during the tenure of V.S. Achyutanandan. He had been his political secretary. His political life began in SFI and he went to become National President of SFI and DYFI. Fisheries or Cultural Affairs. Saji Cherian, Education LLB. He began his political career through SFI during his pre-degree studies at Chenganur Christian College. He was first elected to the Assembly in a by-poll necessitated following the death of Chenganur MLA in 2018. He was earlier unsuccessfully contested against P.C. Vishwanath from the same constituency. He was the SFI District President. Agriculture. P. Prasad, Education, BA, a native of Palamil in Alapura. He began his political career through AISF. Later, he worked as AISF State President and State Executive Member. He had also been an additional private secretary to former Minister Binoy Visham and Thiruvananthapuram Unit Manager of Janayugam CPI Mouthpiece. Registration of Corporation. V.N. Vasavan. Education SSLC ITR. Vasavan entered politics through SFI. He was elected the CPM District Secretary in 2015 after his unsuccessful contest against Oman Chandi in Puthupalli in 1987 and 1991 Assembly elections. He became an MLA in 2006 from Kottayam constituency. Speaker M.B. Rajesh, Education LLB. A two-time MP, he wrested Tritala constituency from the Congress, which it had held for a decade. He had served a District Secretary, State Secretary and All India Joint Secretary of SFI and DYFI, State and National President. He is a CPM State Committee member. Deputy Speaker, Chitayam Gopakumar. Education SSLC. A three-time MLA from Adur. He had started his political career as an activist of AISF and held various positions in AISF, various positions in AIYF and Kisan Sabha. A former Panchayat President of Kottarakara, he had also served as Agriculture Workers Welfare Board Chairman.